I get this second girlfriend. Boom, I start putting her panties in there too. You don't tell anyone about the shoebox, especially girls. She was a freaky, like. I mean, what is there to say? Like, we all had the shoebox growing up, right? Like, we all had that one shoebox, and it's just got the most diabolical things that you don't want, especially your parents, to see. I had a couple shoeboxes in my room, and we were also in the process of moving houses, and they were gonna move houses while I was at my first couple weeks of college. So I didn't know what they were gonna find moving out, going through my room, going through my boxes. So after all those years of high school and middle school, I was like, all right, it's time to do away with the shoe boxes. So I remember I had a couple, and I only put them in nice shoe boxes. I remember I had my first pair of Kobe's, that shoe box, had to use that one. My LeBrons, I remember I had that box. You use like nice looking boxes for your box, you know, because you're not just gonna use a shitty like neon orange, unless you're trying to be low key. I mean, shit, a shoebox is a shoebox. It doesn't matter what color it is. The insides of the box are where it gets crazy. You know, I remember my first shoebox, you know, I probably started building it up in like middle school, and it probably started off, you know, like some pocket knives, some condoms that never saw the light of day, you know, maybe some papers, just like random like objects I just did not want anyone really seeing or finding. That's how it started, you know, just this little like, that's how it always starts, you know, you got a guilty thing that you don't want anyone to find, throw it in the shoebox, slide that under your bed. Boom, out of mind, out of sight. No one's finding that. That's what you think, at least. But I don't think anyone ever found my shoe boxes, unless they just didn't tell me. No one ever really. They would have told me if they found my shoe boxes. But I remember I had like a BB gun, put it in the shoe box. I don't know why. Most diabolical thing in my shoe box. Yeah, freshman high school girlfriend, you know. I think it was like summer going into high school, maybe, or maybe my summer. No, it was the summer after freshman year of high school. That summer, baddie starts hitting me up, chop shit. But for me, she was a baddie. She was thick as shit. So, and not in the belly. Like, she was like slim, thick, but it was just like, you know. So I think they call that a butterball. Anyways, you know, I had my butterball, and you know, she was a freaky, like way, like from my first time doing all this shit. Like in a whole nother league of freakiness she was. And so this is the perfect time to have a shoebox, you know, because you got freaky girlfriend. Shoebox is going to be your best friend in middle school. I mean, high school, not middle school. And so shit, I remember, you know, she came over a few times, you know, we were doing shit, you know, and it became pretty normal, like, you know, come to my place, you know, get freaky. And so, you know, she would leave some stuff over there a lot, you know, leave like some like lotion or like, you know, what's like the like fucking, you know, some lotion, some Johnson and Johnson fucking Diddy oil, like, you know, it was like that, you know. And so, you know, first girlfriend, you know, I got the oil, lotion, stuff like that, things of that nature, some like scented candles, just stuff that I didn't want to explain to my parents, and I just rather they did not know. But what really took the cake was, you know, the panties. You know, girls, they leave their panties at your place. They leave their panties at your place. You know, one way or another, they come off, they get left behind. And what are you supposed to do? Throw them in your underwear drawer? Like, you're supposed to keep those. And then what you do is you throw them in the shoebox. Now, I dated that girl for like a year, you know, ended. Moved on to another girl. You know, slightly less freaky, but the fact that my freakiness had been built up over the past year because of that first girl, you know, my freakiness was like, so compared to like these other girls or other, I don't know what about the other guys, but these girls weren't on my level of freakiness after that first girlfriend. Like, I don't know what it was, but I learned a lot. So next girlfriend, boom. You know, we're doing shit, you know, I'm teaching her my freaky ways. And to top it off, she was like a year or two older than me. So I was like, damn, I gotta teach the cougar how to do this shit. And so, you know, I'm sophomore in high school, and boom, you know, I get some panties again. But the thing is, I went to go put them in the old shoebox, and I forgot. I had the old girlfriend, my first girlfriend, shoebox full of panties. And so I never threw them out because for some reason, I thought maybe, we talked on and off, but like we never got back together. But I thought, maybe she'll want them back or something, or like, I don't know, like I didn't know how to dispose of them either. It's like throw them away, like someone might see them. I don't know. I wasn't that smart. So boom, I get the second girlfriend. She starts leaving panties over too. So what do? I throw them in the shoebox, So I basically have this freaked out shoebox filled with oil, like lube, like panties, knives, and I think I have the shoebox. Let me see if I have it. All right. There's nothing in it. There's nothing crazy in the shoebox right now. Yeah, no, there's nothing in there right now. I had to make sure, but nah. You see? Look at Nike by, this was the custom Nikes I made. Nike by Liam, you see it? Size 9s. The box was pretty pristine when I got it. I was fucking with the, the little like, extra security. You slide that in, maybe someone tries to open it and they can't figure out how to open it, just in case, you never know. So boom, that was one of the shoe boxes. I had a couple. And, I get the second girlfriend, boom, I start putting her panties in there too. But, she doesn't know about the shoe. You don't tell anyone about the shoebox, especially girls. Girls do not have to know about the shoebox. So I've got this freaked out shoebox. And eventually the day comes where this second girlfriend, we break up, I had to do it to him. She was she was definitely crazy, more like not freaky, but more crazy, and usually those correlate, freakiness, craziness. Like she was a little freaked out because of me, but the craziness was already existed in her. I don't know how, why, but boom, got this shoebox, I got her panties in it, and she tells me, Joe, I want my clothes back. I want my shit back. And I was like, oh yeah, well, I'll look around for it. Like, what do you need again? And she tells me she's got 2 panties at my place and a bunch of other things. And so I'm like, all right, I'm gathering the stuff. And I'm like, oh yeah, the panty box. It's in the panty box. The panties are in the panty box. So I go get the shoebox and I've got a bunch of panties in there. I probably got like 4 or 5 pairs. And I'm like, which one are hers? Which of these panties belong to which girlfriend? Because the first girlfriend never asked for the panties back. But the second girlfriend did. And the beyond crazy thing is that they wore the same exact size panty, and there were two black panties. And I knew I only got 1 black pair from each girlfriend. And the thing is, same size ass, like same size panty, and the same exact, like they were the same exact panty. Black, just straight out black, like they might have been the same exact brand. I could not tell them apart. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll be able to figure out by the size. Nope, same exact size panties. So I'm like, fuck, like I could just give her one of the random panties, but she might know, she might figure out like, oh, you had another girl panties, like, so I must have guessed right because she never said anything after I gave her the panties back. But the crazy thing is, girlfriend number 1, I end up getting back with her. Like a year after. So freshman year, I'm with girlfriend 1. Sophomore year, I'm with girlfriend 2. Sophomore-ish, junior year-ish, I'm with girlfriend 2 for a year. And then senior year, I go back to girlfriend 1. I go back. We rekindle. We've both grown as humans. We're better at shit. You're more experienced in life. Let me drink this. So boom, back with girlfriend 1, and she's low key like, did you keep all those panties? And that's like, it's like a weird question. It's like asking like, do you still have my nudes after like a year or 2? Because it's like, obviously, yeah, but like, is that too crazy to admit to? A little bit. So I did not deny. I said, nah, man, I threw those panties out a while ago. But the crazy thing was, I still had them. I still had a box of panties and fucking freaked out objects that I don't even want to get to the extent of, but. So, I tell her I threw out the panties, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Boom, panty problem, girlfriend problem, settled. We ended up breaking out. We ended up breaking up at the end of my senior year. Actually, on the morning of my graduation. I sent this girl a text out of nowhere. She did not see this coming. I texted her on the morning of my graduation. Because, and I'll tell you why I did it on the morning of graduation. I'm a master procrastinator. The master of it. Like, no one's better than me. Like Jedi Master Yoda level procrastinator. And so I waited and waited. I knew I had to end it with this girl. I'm going to college, different life paths, whatever. I knew I had to end it with girlfriend one. So I got my grad party coming up. Same day as my graduation. I'm graduating. I'm going back to the crib for the party, with the family, with the friends, whatever. And the whole week, this girl is like, oh, what's going on with the grad party, blah, blah, blah. And, obviously I'm having the party, but I knew I would break up with her. I knew I was going to break up with her before I went to college. And I just knew that, the more time that goes on, the worse it'll get and the harder it'll be, So the week leading up to my graduation, I'm like trying to figure it out. I'm like, fuck, how do I end it with this girl? Because I really didn't have a good excuse. Just wanted to go to college and have fun and not worry about it. I'm telling her, I'm talking to her throughout the week. I'm trying to find a good time. There's no good time to break up with a girl, especially in this kind of situation. It's no good time. Anyways, I'm trying to figure out how to break up with my girlfriend a week before graduation, before I go to college. Don't need that. I just need to go to college and have fun, not have a long distance girlfriend. Who was mid. She was a little lower than mid. I can't lie, bro. So, people will say that, but hey, it is what it is. She was a freak. And so, boom, I couldn't do it. I tried to figure out a way to, call, maybe hang out, but I couldn't bring myself to break up with this girl. So I wake up on the morning of my graduation. It's like 9 a.m., calm 9 or 10 a.m. Graduation isn't for later. And I wake up, I'm still in bed, I'm still on my side. And I'm like, fuck, I gotta break up with this girl before the party. And so I just did it. I just sent a big ass text message, not even that big, to be honest. Maybe it was 2 little paragraphs, basically explaining no, I haven't been able to figure out a good time to say this. Haven't been able to really bring myself, just a lot of bullshit. I mean, it's true, but it's bullshit, but it's also true. It's hard. So basically, I ended it over text. I sent her all that. And she didn't even text me. I think she texted me back what the fuck? She said something quick. And then I get a call from her. And I'm like, I guess I gotta do this. So I pick up the phone, I'm pretty sure she was crying. She was definitely emotional. I didn't see her face, but she's definitely an emotional call. But I was like, hey, what do you want me to do? Break up with you a month from now? Is that going to make it better? I'm sorry it's on the day of my graduation and my grad party that you were really trying to come to, but it's how it's going to be. And what I didn't want to say, what I was thinking was I don't want this girl to come to my grad party. And, she's going to be by my side the whole time pretty much because, I'm not just going to abandon her. And I'm going to have all the folks coming up to me being oh, girlfriend. I see these people once or twice a year. I'm not trying to go to the next function oh, where's that girlfriend of yours? This is why, it's like the shoebox, you don't feel like explaining that shit. You don't want to have to explain what's in the shoebox. You don't want to have to explain why you broke up with a high school girlfriend. Come on, folks. I wasn't really affected by the breakup. I got right back into the game, almost too quickly. Oh, I just remembered some lore, bro. So, what really propelled me to break up with her right before graduation was, I don't remember the exact days. Let's say graduation was on a Friday. That Wednesday, 2 days before graduation, was prom. That was prom. And my girlfriend, this is 2021, so COVID is kind of like, people are still wearing masks. And so my girlfriend went to a different school. She went to school close to me, but she went to a different school. And so I think she dropped out and started doing homeschool. I don't even know. They wouldn't let us bring outside people to our prom. They wouldn't let us bring any outsiders. So I explained that to her, and I'm like, it sucks, but I mean, it's COVID. Like, the prom would have sucked anyways. The tragic thing is, two girls actually asked me to go to prom. And the thing is, like, they were both bad as fuck. Like, what the fuck? Like, I was cool with them, but they were both fine. Especially now. Like, I have them on IG. And they both asked me to prom at two different occasions. And I had to tell them both, I'm like, my girlfriend's gonna fucking fuck me if I do this. Like, she's gonna kill me. Like, she's gonna... And the thing is, like, I knew I was gonna break up with her, but I was like, I don't know why I didn't just break up with her before prom. I don't know. But I went to prom with the boys, all the single guys, we got our table. But yeah, because I couldn't bring a girlfriend from out of the school, and she wouldn't let me go with other girls, even though we were just as friends. She knew they were better than her. That's probably why. She was like, no, you're not taking those fine ass hoes to the prom when you could be taking my chopped ass. That's pretty much what she said. It's pretty much what she said. But my prom didn't end that sad. My prom did not end that sad. I didn't go out that sad. So, prom. Prom's, it's high school prom, wasn't that crazy. It was a Catholic high school. But the after parties is where it's at when it comes to prom. Like, this if you're in high school or you graduate high school and you went to prom. The after party is basically like, the purpose of the night. It's like, people don't look forward to prom. They look forward to the prom after parties and getting fucked up at 18 years old and finally fucking hooking up with that hot bitch in your class. And that's what I did. But the problem was, technically, I was kind of in a relationship. So I'm at this, we go to the bonfire after prom, right? Little bonfire, calm, like 12, 15 people, maybe less, I don't even remember. But good ratio, like half the girls, half guys. And so I seen this fine shit from my class, unanimous, like everyone would call her fine. And, some rumors going around, we'd be liking each other, whatever. She like me, I like, whatever. And so, I'm cozied up to her by the bonfire. And, we're drinking, and, the night's coming to an end. And I realize, like, I can't get this girl in the bedroom. So I'm taking the next best option. I took her, I was like, let's go walk down the beach for a sec. Take her behind like a little tree, out of sight. And, we say, we start making out a little bit. And so that was it, dog. Nothing crazy, but she found out that I was still dating that girl, and she was like, I don't want to see you until you break up with her. So I'm like, fuck. I think that's what propelled me to also break up. But I also just knew, like, grad party. Like, can't bring this girlfriend to the grad party. Like, we're going to break up anyways, so I got to break up with her ASAP. And I broke up with her on the day of my graduation. That's why the girl wouldn't see me unless I broke up with her. So I was like, fuck, there's another reason. Just trying to live life. You got to live life when you're young, Because I knew if I didn't do that, I knew if I didn't make out with that girl that night, I knew I was going to break up with the other girlfriend very soon. And I just knew this opportunity would never come again. I would have had a pretty lame prom. It was an all right prom, but COVID, like, it was a COVID-ass lame prom. I'm getting something. Like, I'm not leaving with nothing. So I got a little something, had to break up with a girlfriend, and probably the most bugging part was that the girlfriend, I don't think she ever found out, but she might now, but I doubt it, but the girlfriend hits me up again, like, probably a week later, and was like, yo, I got your stuff, you got my stuff, can we just, like, meet up and just exchange stuff? And I was like, yeah, it's good. She didn't ask for the panties, thank God. I mean, I still had them at least, but, like, she didn't ask for them. We meet up at the mall. We meet up the mall parking lot, and we're like, oh, she's like, just get in my car real quick. And I'm like, all right. You know, she's getting the passenger seat. You know, give her stuff bags, hoodies, shirts, whatever. You know, she just wants like a more of an explanation or whatever. And so I'm like, you know, explain to her my mindset, whatever. And she wasn't crying. She wasn't like mad or anything. Kind of felt like she understood it. I think she understood like I would have been a pretty bad boyfriend. Like going through high school, through college, like she wouldn't. Oh my God, that would have altered the course of my life if I dated her throughout college. I would have altered the course of my life. If you're about to go to college or in college with that girlfriend, just know that this decision is altering the course of your life. Think about like you can't even imagine what the possibilities would be like without a girlfriend. Like you really don't know until you just don't have one and you're in college and you're socializing and being active. Like you just don't know. Like dudes will be like, oh, I really like my girlfriend after high school. We're gonna keep dating even though she's going 1,000 miles across country to ASU. I'm still gonna date her. We're gonna visit every once a month. Every semester I'll come visit and she'll be around for the holidays. You're cooked, bro. Chop her off, get a social life, and then just have fun in college. Don't do all that long distance. Oh, I love you. Oh, I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to see you for the holidays. Spring break. Imagine that. No spring break trip for you, bud. If you're in that committed of a relationship that's long term for years, no spring break for you, bud. Unless you're bringing her. In which case, it's still going to be a shitty spring break. So, if there's something to take away from this whole thing, it's that girls are like that shoebox under your bed. You gotta have the perfect one to want to like show her off like that. Like you gotta be certain. But if you're like on the border, on the line, if you're looking at girls, like you gotta tuck that shoebox under the bed, make sure no one finds it, and just keep living life. Just keep doing what you're about to do. Just throw it in the shoebox and just keep going.